Citizen, you're here illegally, there's no due process. And I'm telling you, this is coming to a head. We are going to suspend the writ of habeas corpus if the courts keep ruling against this and don't allow these mass deportations to continue. Just like President Lincoln, this was an invasion. The country's at war. He's commander-in-chief. It's Article 2 power. And this is going to come.
Are you predicting that will happen, or
first off, there is going to be a constitutional crisis before the court leaves. You know this. You just saw the federal judge in San Francisco last night ruled against him, his Article 2 power to basically rearrange and take, fire people in these agencies, etc. There's a challenge. The only way the Democrats are even winning right now is to delay, is to deny, is to delay. They have no political operation. They have no counter-argument. They have no populist economics. So what they're doing is getting more and more radical on these raids like they did in New Jersey yesterday. And the judges are trying to stop him. The Supreme Court's going to have to make a decision about President Trump's Article 2 powers, and we're going to see it. And I believe if the courts keep trying to slow him down, you're going to see him, as Stephen Miller laid out pretty well yesterday, and it'll be, I'm sure, developed over time, suspension of the writ of habeas corpus, just like President Lincoln did in the Civil War.
Will Trump run?
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Urkak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and you just saw Steve Bannon right there on the screen talking about how they're going to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. And this is something they do when they're about to bring in martial law. And it's pretty much just taking away your right to defend yourself against arrest. And so you'll be basically guilty until proven innocent, instead of innocent until proven guilty. They can just take you and throw you into one of these death camps that they have set up down in El Salvador or wherever they put their latest camps. And this is foreshadowing, or basically the prelude to Jacob's trouble and this devil coming down with great wrath. Because they see their days are numbered, and they're trying their best to stay at the top, stay in their current position, but they've just been too wicked, and wickedness is not going to win at all. But typed into Google, what is habeas corpus? Habeas corpus meaning you have the body. So that's where corpus comes from. In Latin, is a legal procedure that allows a person to challenge the legality of their detention or imprisonment. And so you're just guilty without even having the opportunity to prove your innocence. It says it ensures that a person cannot be imprisoned without due process of law in the court's review of the detention. So there's not going to be any more bookings into where or I guess it's a arraignment, but basically you're not going to be able to defend yourself. They're going to think you did something and put that on you and ship you out. There's not going to be any more Miranda rights, or all these rights are about to be completely done away with, because this devil's coming down with great wrath. It says essentially it forces those holding a person to produce the person before a court to determine if their detention is lawful. So that'll be done away with. Here's a more detailed explanation. The right to challenge detentions. Habeas corpus allows individuals to petition a court to review the legality of their detention, ensuring they are not imprisoned without just cause. So that goes away if habeas corpus is done away with or suspended. It says you shall have the body. The phrase you have the body literally means that the custodian of the prisoner, e.g. a prison warden, must bring the person before a court to explain why they are being held. Legal protection. Habeas corpus is a fundamental legal right that safeguards against arbitrary detention and unlawful imprisonment. It ensures the individuals can challenge the legality of their confinement and seek release if it is deemed unlawful. So you're not going to be able to challenge their word because their might is right. Writ of habeas corpus. The right to habeas corpus is often enforced through a writ, which is a formal court order demanding the release of the prisoner or justification for their detention. Historical significance. Habeas corpus has a long and important history dating back to England and enshrined in the U.S. Constitution as a safeguard against government overreach. It has been a cornerstone of individual liberty and a check on executive power. This is why the constitutionalists are all about their Second Amendment, because it ensures certain things within the Constitution will be upheld, but they don't even care about their own Constitution anymore. They're doing away with it all because they want to make this country great again. They want Edomites to be at the very top again and to hold that position forever. Which Edomites are so-called white people, including the Small Hatters. Those are all Edomites. Those are both Edomites. And these are the people that the Lord's coming to judge first and foremost. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? These are the enemies of the Lord. Even though they've put themselves up as the bastion of morality, they're anything but. They're the devil within the scriptures. So, I searched times habeas corpus was suspended and went to get to the Japanese internment camps, because habeas corpus was worked around to imprison the Japanese or Japanese Americans that were here in mainland America, as well as in Hawaii, which Hawaii was a territory at that point. It wasn't a full state then. Forget what those are called. But AI overview. During World War II, the U.S. government incarcerated approximately 120,000 Japanese Americans in internment camps. While the writ of habeas corpus, which protects against unlawful detention, was not officially suspended on the mainland, the government acted in ways that effectively circumvented its protections. So this time they're completely going to suspend it. I don't think it's been suspended yet, but this is something to look out for. It's on the horizon. And here they were going around habeas corpus because they suspended it in Hawaii and they were at war with Japan, so they were able to go around it. But this time, currently, or in modernity, they have all these citizens of the U.S. that they want to imprison, primarily the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, in which we've been scattered. So we have Israelites that look like the other nations, but primarily we're the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they want to imprison us and basically do away with us. That's why Yahushua is going to return to deliver us out of their hands. Going back to this, the government acted in ways that effectively circumvented its protection, so they went around it. The government issued Executive Order 9066, which led to the forced removal and confinement of Japanese Americans without due process of law, despite the constitutional guarantee of habeas corpus. In some cases, like Hawaii, martial law was declared and habeas corpus was suspended. And so they did that while imprisoning the Japanese Americans. What do you think they're going to do to their number one hated enemy, the Israelites? they're going to try and cast us into prison. Some of us will be martyrs. This will be the time of Jacob's trouble, and that time of trouble such as never was on the face of the earth. But ultimately, they do not win. The Lord has his elect that he is going to safeguard for them to be the remnant that gets out of this. Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil are the Edomites, so-called white people, and the small hatters. Devil goes into deceiver or slanderer, and they've done nothing but. Their whole kingdom is a lie. Their rulership is a lie. They've lied about everything. And you could start with so-called white Jesus. They lied about that. He was a dark-skinned man, not a quote-unquote white person, which they're really considered red within the scriptures. That's the devil, and they're losing their position, and so they're going to come down with great wrath soon. It says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. They have prisons. They run and own, operate, determine who goes in and out. They have control of the prisons. That ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. That's just an arbitrary number of days. Or time. It's a time allotment. It could be 2 days. It could be 6 months. It's not going to be years and years, because Yahushua is going to come back to deliver his elect within this time. So we just have to stay faithful if we happen to be cast into one of these death camps that they have. It says, be thou faithful unto death. Because some of us are going to be put to death. Some of us are going to be martyred. But you'll be the first to come back with the return of Yahushua. And it says, and I will give thee a crown of life. So don't let any man take your crown. Don't falter. Speaking to myself first and foremost. Don't bend. Don't break during this. It's going to happen. It's written. You should be able to gird your mind to this happening. And that should be the strength to get to salvation. Just think of Yahushua the whole time. He didn't break. When he was cast into prison, or into the crucifixion that he was taken. But going to Luke 21, this is written, they are going to come down in these ways. So this is Yahushua speaking, talking about the end and what's going to be happening. It talks about wars and commotions, rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, great earthquakes, famines, pestilences, fearful sights. But verse 12, Luke 21:12, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you. It's being these wicked people within this earth, starting with the Edomites, but he also has certain Israelites that work with them. But as it says, though hand join in hand, the wicked must be punished. They have to get judged for all their blasphemy and all their violence and theft and robbery and lies. It says, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. His voice has entered into the gates of the nobles. And they don't like the truth. They don't like these words that the Lord's prophets are bringing out through the elders and apostles, or the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and on down. They don't like the truth. And so they're going to try to put it away. Which is why you suspend Habeas Corpus. Because truthfully, we've done nothing wrong. Just reading the Bible, which this country says that they stand upon, reading it in its correct form, they want to cast us into into the prisons. It says delivering you up to the synagogues. Who runs the synagogues nowadays? These small hatters who are Amalek. They can't stand being called out for being frauds and being wicked. It says, and into prisons. They want to do away with this word, these taunting proverbs that are coming out, showing and letting them know that they are about to fall and go into the most terrible judgment of all nations ever. And they're not going to get back up because they're going to be done away with. They don't like that. It says, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Goes into testes, and only men can have this testimony. It says, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. So don't even think about it. You've got this word within you, and Yahushua is going to give you the perfect words to say to these devils. It's going to cut them straight to the heart, all the way to the bones and the marrow. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Because the truth is going to rise up on top. The truth has to come out. Those are the Edomites, so-called white people and small hatters are the Edomites. And they have ruled this world wickedly. They have put down the true Israelites and taken their heritage and their identity from them. And the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His real name is Yahushua. He's a dark-skinned man, and he's coming to put them down. He's coming to put this world into order and to only deliver his elect of Israel. And this world is going out in fire, and their rulership is going out in shame. The Lord is going to put all the best words, the cutting words of the scriptures into your mouth to bring them down. And this is it might be here that the people start to say, you are the children of the Most High, to where they really understand it and really see that Esau is the devil. But yeah, these devils are working. Currently they're working with their pen, but eventually they're going to get to their real weapon, the sword, and come down with great violence. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. Should also be a warning. Move with salt. Be graceful with your words and what you're saying. And your movements, be completely circumspect, because this devil is trying to take us out. Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.